Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Cuppa with Katie, although I'm without the cuppa in my hand. I wanted to have a chat with you today about the stories we tell ourselves. This has been, this is a constant theme in my own life. It's a constant theme in the lives of many of my clients. Hello, as you're joining, say hello, let me know who's there. Yes, I think you're there, good to see you. Yeah, this idea of the stories that we tell ourselves. And when I say stories, it's hi Kellyanne, hi. It's the beliefs that we're running and the conversations we're having with ourselves, and quite often it's the self-sabotaging beliefs that we have. Hey, yes. And I wanted to give you a couple of examples of how this can play out, and a couple of examples that happened with two of my clients this week. Two of my private clients. So I was working with one woman, and I've known her for, a good few months. We've only been working together privately for a couple of months, a bit of group, a bit of private. So I'm still getting to know her. And it was really interesting. The last conversation we had, she was sharing with me how very, very frustrated she was in her job. Doesn't like her job. It's not who she is. She can't bear it anymore. It's sucking the life out of her. She's feeling unmotivated in other areas of her life because of this, energy drain that is her job. And I have known that for a little while, but actually, funnily enough, it's not something we've talked about before in any kind of depth, but we did this week. And so the question that she had was, what am I supposed to do instead? How do I find my purpose? How do I find what it is that I'm meant to do in the world that feels loving and heartfelt and passionate and like I'm aligned and on purpose? Big questions, right? And maybe you can relate. Maybe you've got those questions going on for yourself at the moment. And so we started sort of exploring this. And what we discovered was over the last few years, she's done a lot of training in the healing arts. So she's got a multitude of really interesting trainings around being a healer, on different modalities and different things. And I was like, oh my God, I did not know this about you. So I have known her for a while, and it took me by surprise that I didn't know her passion for healing, for this area, the depth of her spirituality, the depth of her conscious awareness, just how awake she was. It hadn't come through. And the reason it hadn't come through is because everything about her energy, because we all kind of vibrate, we vibrate our stories. It's going to sound a bit weird, but energetically, we're walking around in the world vibrating what we tell ourselves, and other people feel that. They hear it in the words we say, they see it in the deeds that we do, they witness us showing up in a way that reflects what we're telling ourselves, the stories we're telling ourselves, what we're believing about ourselves. And I thought I knew her really quite well, so I was really confused and excited, actually, to discover that she'd been doing all of these trainings, and she had this real depth of interest and passion in the world of healing and helping people to reach their potential and overcome, so much. And I said, God, isn't that weird? Oh, my battery's low. Let's hope I don't run out. I said, isn't it weird that I didn't know that? But her energy signature wasn't vibrating at that, because what was prevalent in her mind was this story that she was telling herself that went like this: I don't know what I'm meant to do. The predominant words were, I don't know. I don't know what my career is. I don't know what my heart-led, purposeful life looks like. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And she got, unconsciously, she got herself in her mind into, quite a twist. She was really confused. She was really frustrated. And it became more evident to me that, of course, she was utterly confused and frustrated. And that was exhausting, because she was actually Sorry, I've got messages pinging up. Are you still there? I've got messages pinging up and battery low. And of course she was confused, because the truth of who she is, her soul, her spirit, had been leading her down a path, training to be a healer. That's her soul's direction. That's where it's been taking her. But then her intellect has been saying, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you're meant to do. And there was a huge disconnect, and that disconnect creates anxiety. You know, it creates frustration. It creates exhaustion. So then we went on a new line of questioning, which started to feel quite exciting. We explored different avenues of the healing arts that she could take. And we realized that the reason why she hadn't given herself permission to acknowledge that what she really wanted to do was work in this completely different field, it's completely different to what she's doing now, was fear. And that makes sense, right? It's utterly different to what she's used to doing. And the fear was what was having her tell herself, I don't know. And then we explored a little more, like what was the fear about? That I won't be good enough, that I'm not expert enough, I don't have any testimonials, I've never done this before, what if I can't make money out of it? I mean, you can imagine, right? Lots and lots of question marks around whether this was even possible for her. And so then the line of questioning shifts again to, well, what kind of evidence would you need to have to know that you were good enough to do this, that you had the skill set, that you were capable of it? And we explored what she would need to know. And then it was, okay, so what baby steps, what first steps could you take to move in the direction of building that body of faith and evidence and trust that you are good enough, that you can do it, that it is possible for you, so that you can start stepping into this new career move in stages. So it became a totally, utterly different conversation. She did know what she wanted to do, but the fear around it was telling her that she didn't. So once we start to, delve into it, we could have interesting, exciting conversations, and she's got some really powerful, exciting new intentions of first little steps she's going to take to start building a body of evidence that she can do it. Getting more experience in those fields, building testimonials, starting to make some money from it, building her self-worth around that. And what's interesting is, as soon as we changed the conversation, well, two things happen. One thing that came up for her was, it brought up some really dark, scary, horrible feelings, and it continues to. And this is the current path that she's on. So suddenly when we have these big, exciting awarenesses, it doesn't mean that it's all like rainbows and unicorns straight away. Her stuff came up. And her stuff has been there. Her stuff has been bubbling under the surface. Shame, lack of self-belief, beliefs around not being enough. It was always there. It was always there. But it was deeply unconscious. And it was the reason why she was telling herself, I don't know. But as soon as you remove the belief, you take the lid off it, the belief, I don't know, remove that lid, this stuff that's under the surface is allowed to come up and through. And so it has to be felt. She has to now move through that. It's a process now of building her self-worth, building her self-trust, building her self-belief. And so she's in a very, very uncomfortable phase right now. But the other thing that happens is, as soon as we remove the lid of that story that's not serving her, that's actually sabotaging her, as soon as we take that away, we're having different conversations. We're asking different questions. We're asking better questions. We're asking expansive questions, abundant, yummy, juicy questions. It's not just shut down with, I can't, I don't know. And the lid comes off, so we're moving, we're expanding. And so her energy signature is going to start to shift as well, because now her everything about her is going to be communicating something different. And that communication doesn't just tell me and the people around her and her community and workspace and so on. It tells the universe, because remember, life has eyes and ears. So now the universe isn't hearing, she's not broadcasting a signal, I don't know. She's now broadcasting a signal, I do know. And I'm willing to overcome my self-doubt and my fear and my lack of self-belief. And I'm willing to be shown how to overcome those fears and those beliefs. And I'm willing to take my first steps to getting experience, to building my confidence in this new body of work, this completely new career change. And when we start broadcasting that signal, life, God, the universe goes, okay. And I'm so excited now to witness this woman taking her first little baby steps towards what it is she does know she wants to do. And she's known for so long. And in fact, as we really drilled down in this coaching session, she's actually got great vision for her healing business and what it could look like and where in the world it would be and the freedom and the work-life balance it would create. Like, she actually does know. But the fear kept her small and didn't give voice to it. And so she wasn't even letting the universe know, this is my deepest desire. She just was not acknowledging it. So it's really exciting once we discover the limiting stories we tell ourselves, what can start to shift. But there's no denying, as we lift that lid, like I said, all the stuff that the lid's been pushing down and keeping down. We don't want to look at the fact that I don't really believe in myself and I don't think I'm enough. Really what she's now being invited to is to heal a lot of her childhood wounds. And we've already been doing some inner child work, and she's already going through a very powerful process of reparenting her inner child. And this is now, like, we're taking that to another level now. And while she came to me to work with me on calling in her guy, it's so interesting that we're not working at calling in her guy, but what we are doing is clearing out the energetic blocks that are standing in the way between her and him. And her business is the root to that. The focus on her business, her career, her purpose is bringing up an opportunity to heal these energetic blocks that aren't just standing in the way of her having the career she wants. It's standing in the way of her having the money she wants, the abundance she wants, and the love that she wants. It's standing in the way of actually having abundance in all areas of her life. But I love so much how life gives us something really practical, really tangible that we can work with in the here and now to clear out the limiting beliefs and those energetic blocks that predominantly are rooted all the way back in childhood. So I thought I'd share that story with you today. I was going to share another one, but I'm a little bit nervous that my battery might die. Suffice to say, I've worked with several clients this week on shifting their stories and beliefs. I might just leave it there, because if my battery dies, I'll lose this, and that would be a shame. Yaz is saying she can totally relate. Kellyanne saying such an awesome realization. Yeah, it has been, and I'm really excited for her. I'm also very aware that she's in a super uncomfortable, space right now. It's bringing a lot up. And so a lot of self-kindness, a lot of gentleness, self-love, self-compassion is required as she now reparents that part of her which is where all of these deep self-doubts are rooted in. Anywho, I'm going to leave you there. I might share the other story later in the week. How about we do that? That leaves me to invite you, if you haven't already heard, Evolution membership. The doors are open. The first month is free. I've been all day today updating the sales page. It's I think it's updated. I'll put the link below for you. But it's, first month free, then it's just £39 a month. And that means you get access to me as your coach for £39 a month. We do 2 group coaching calls every month. They're really powerful. We have at least 1, if not 2, masterclasses every month from myself, and I bring in expert guests on different themes each month. So we always have an expert guest come in every month, and then sometimes I'll do some extra stuff, or sometimes the members will come in and do extra stuff. It's a really beautiful community. And there's a massive library of meditations, a beautiful community, discounts on all my online courses and live events when they get back up and running. Hopefully in 2021 we can run some live events and some retreats. But anyway, there's loads of inclusions there, and I would love for you to check it out. and be part of this amazing community called Evolution Membership. So I'll pop the link below, you can check it out. And yeah, I hope to see you in there. Otherwise, I will continue on with my Cuppa and Katie sessions 2 or 3 times a week, and we'll stay connected here. Sending you lots of love, and I invite you to check out any stories you're telling yourself. Okay, that's the invitation today. Love you lots. See you later. Bye.